would like to do it this week.
Yeah.
I'll let him know.
Thanks.
That'd
If
be
this
awesome.
group could gather again.
We can gather.
We can.
Yeah, we definitely can.
It's amazing.
We're pretty good at gathering.
Okay.
So we have some issues with all of the Russia stuff that's happening right now. We want to know, I know you said you don't know legislative, but we still want to know if you know anything on legislative action that she's planning on doing to try to spur these investigations. And our concerns are that these are going to be investigations with closed committees that are not open to the public. And there's already been so much corruption that has come about that we don't trust that. So we want to know specific action that's happening with that, and that they will make sure that Sessions recuses himself from that investigation.
And did you share the email and the letter that
I shared some of it and I got everybody's info so I can share it today. But I told them about it as we were coming in, that I did hear from Alan and that the senator has signed on to a lot of things. And I think our message today is, that's great. What now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because,
Yep.
you know, we drew the analogy of going on a diet. It's great to say, you know, I've signed up for Weight Watchers and I'm gonna lose that 40 pounds, but we wanna see the weight falling off.
Yeah.
In the form of Bannon.
Yeah, in the form of Bannon, we would like to see that fall
Yeah,
off.
there's a lot of weight falling off.
So we were just in Schatz's office and he was saying that the wording in S291 is probably not going to make it to a vote. And I know Mazie did co-sign that. Is she working with Schatz on his other bill that he is coming up with to try to do different wording that will pass that'll get Bannon out of the National Security Council?
Okay. I don't know the answer to that,
Okay.
but we'll get back to you on that.
I have a constituent service related question. We were just talking in Schatz's office about the situation for people who are in the country illegally, particularly of course in Hawaii, where there's lots of people with problematic paperwork, if any. And what are you all prepared to do for our friends, neighbors, relatives, the people we feel we might have to hide in our attics if we have attics, that kind of thing? How is this affecting your the fear about the immigration situation affecting your work?
For my work specifically, we've gotten many calls. I mean, all of our immigration cases are just fearful and wanting to resolve their issues, you know, as soon as possible. But even then, what does that mean? And you know, we have dreamers, we have those who are protected by DACA, who are really fearful because they're registered.
Right.
They've you know they've trusted in the process, and now it's exposed them entirely. So the senator is very concerned about that, and she sits on the Judiciary Committee, and so that oversees immigration. So she is personally involved in that as well.
So my understanding of constituent service, thank you, is that, I mean, I've had some experience with that, and usually some magic thread gets pulled and grandma's social security check gets burped out when it was lost before, something like that. And I've seen some pretty amazing stuff happen, but do you have any magic threads as far as immigration goes for people in Hawaii?
No magic threads, but we have a really good congressional liaison at the immigration office here. And then we have congressional liaisons at all of the embassies and the National Visa Center and all of the points that are involved in the immigration process.
So one thing I think that the senator could do would be to make it better known, because you know, if you have like savvy family who says, oh, you know, uncle, he was never legal and we don't, you know, we don't want to see him go, that's one thing if they're like integrated into the community and people are going back for them. But there's a lot of people hiding. And having her make a clear statement of welcome and support for helping people maintain healthy family lives and so on, I think might really be helpful to people who are afraid right now, and that's something you could be involved in maybe.
Okay, thank you.
That would also fit well. Hawaii J20 is trying to push for sanctuary city, sanctuary state, and we feel very strongly about that. So a statement from the senator would be
awesome,
hugely helpful.
And Hawaii is, I mean, no state in the country, I think, understands inclusivity and the fabric of an immigrant community the way Hawaii does.
Yeah.
And this is one issue where she could be a uniquely positioned leader and voice
As an
within the
immigrant
party.
herself.
As an
especially.
immigrant herself, yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
I wanted to bring the conversation back to Bannon. We were just in Senator Schatz's office, and he said there may be limits to what he could do legislatively, but that the key thing was to apply political pressure. So I would like to see Senator Hirono step forward publicly and forcefully apply the political pressure to get Steve Bannon off the National Security Council.
Do you know where she stands on that?
Yeah.
I have that letter that
Yeah.
Alan forwarded to you.
Right. Is she doing anything else, however?
You know, I'm not privy to that,
Okay.
and I'm sorry.
No, it's
Okay.
okay, it's
Okay.
okay. And I emailed Alan back, and I
Yeah.
sort of asked that, so maybe I'll hear back from him. I know he's busy.
Okay. Is that shared with the rest of the group?
It will be
here?
to,
Okay.
when I hear back from
We
him
have a
today.
bunch of new
Okay.
people
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So-
more than one group here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you
I
should be
mean-
aware,
I
we
mean-
represent,
We
yeah, we
represent
haven't really
over
shared that with you.
1,000
We
people.
represent 4 or 5, 6 different groups, and there's no real leader. I mean, I organize and herd, Huyen organizes and herd,
Yeah.
Kate organizes and herd, as does, there are a bunch of different groups here. But collectively, we're somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 voices, and it's
That's
growing every day.
Yep. Yep.
And what are the groups? Are they on the website?
Well, there's
there's
no one.
J20.
There's J20. There's Women's March. There's
Indivisible.
Indivisible.
A couple of indivisible groups.
Yeah, a couple
Move
different
on.
Indivisible. Move on.
My
Windward
favorite is
Resisters.
Windward Resisters.
Resisters.
R-E-S-I-S-T-E-R-S, Re-Sisters.
Re Sisters.
Like
Yep.
resistors, but they're
Re-sisters.
resistors. They have the hats on back here.
Yeah.
And then I've got a Move On, Resist Trump Tuesday group. So there's probably 6 or 8 when you really,
Yeah, and it keeps
Start
growing
parsing it.
because people keep on getting concerned with every CNN alert that terrifies them.
who did you say?
He said world camp.
World can't
World
wait.
can't
Yep.
wait.
Yep.
The
I didn't even know about that.
AAUW.
Yep.
The
Oh,
AAUW.
Yeah,
AAUW.
got
AAUW sent somebody today as well.
So it's not like we are one little group, it's sort of a
Yeah.
combination of all the different voices
Mhm.
who want to come in and talk with you. And I think it's fair to say that it's kind of a, 51-49, 60-40 strategy with you and Brian. We appreciate so much of what you're doing, and yet we're going to push you to do more and more and
Good.
more.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, this is an incredibly articulate group. Very impressive. And the senator appreciates that. She appreciates having that.
Well, we appreciated seeing her go from not being sure she was going to stick her head up and oppose a lot of nominees to suddenly
Yeah.
tweeting about the
Yeah, it
swamp
was-
cabinet and
was
taking phone
wonderful.
calls herself.
That really
Right.
that really gave a lot of hope to people
Okay.
that are her constituents.